gotten worse. How fortuitous am I to be playing an Ace Attorney game in the midst of this Clussy fever. The day is June 28th, 2022, and people who haven't played Ace Attorney are frothing at the mouths over this one clown. Fucking clown. I will admit though, he's pretty hot. But nevertheless, this must end. Why am I even talking about this? She's a Spirit of Justice character. I'm like 2 games away from that game. Oh god. Does that mean I'll have to suffer through this until I play Spirit of Justice? I hope not. Anyway, hey there, welcome everyone. We're playing more Apollo Justice Ace Attorney tonight. Hope you enjoy it. Alright, so, last time, we did the first part of the trial for what is most definitely the final case in the game. Now, after solving the mystery of who is Drew Measham, we continue from the save point. So, we now know that Drew Measham is actually Vera Measham. Drew Measham the forger. Drew Measham was a real person, but he was like Vera's boss and dad. Mostly boss though. It's kind of a piece of shit. I don't know. They weren't only forging artwork. No, they were forging evidence. There she is. Court is now back in session. Hello, Vera. Vera seems pretty tense. She's practically chewing her fingernails clean off. That's a bad habit. Perhaps you could begin by telling us how it all worked. How did you set up this Drew Measham forger persona? What are you looking at? What are you looking at me with those eyes for? Those beady puppy eyes. There's that stare again. She's drilling more holes into his head. I don't know. It's less of a drilling stare and more of a how do you call this? Like puppy eyes, like I said before. You know. Very cutesy. I know it's hard for you, but hey, he's a handsome guy. What's hard? Very well, miss, if you would. Did you really make those detestable forgeries? Perhaps you'd rather answer my question. Were you the one who painted that painting? The remarkably similar one? Yes. Well, here it comes. Smiley face. Like her lion on her overalls. I painted it, yes. Father praised me quite highly for it. So, she was the one who made the forgeries. Yet she did not wish to reveal the truth of their operation. So, the victim was a stand-in, a decoy. To the world at large, he was the forger, not her. That's true, yeah? I've done a bad thing. I have, haven't I? Does she know that forgery is a crime? If she's lived her entire life inside a tiny apartment, then it stands to reason that she didn't know what she was doing. She had no idea what she was doing. She was just following orders. That's awful. Man, fuck Drew. Regardless, we need a little more information. About, for instance, this. I've seen this before, yeah?
Yes. It was in the desk drawer.
Very well, you may proceed with your testimony. Tell us everything you know about this envelope. The red envelope. 1 second before we start, I gotta check something real quick. Okay. Told you it'd be quick.
I created things, and Father sold them. This envelope came after my first work. That was other than a painting. Father handled the deal, all of it.
Ah, a stamp.
I received the stamp that was in that envelope. It was after that job that we moved to the current studio.
After that job that you moved. There certainly was much of a great interest in your testimony.
Not that the witness realizes it.
Very well, please begin the cross-examination. Right, okay. I need more information about this forger. This Drew Measham. A.k.a. Vera. Surprised that she's talking at all. Usually with witnesses of this type, you have to, like, probe them more and more, you know? But she's cooperative. Mostly. So, these things you were making, you mean paintings identical to other paintings, right?
The closer they were, the happier Father was. I was happy too.
Still, you're quite young now. How old is she? Reference the profiles. She's 19. Brussels 36.
My first painting sold when I was 12.
Your Honor, she had no idea what she was doing. She had no idea what she was doing was illegal.
Objection!
Easy there, little attorney. Little? You're not here to defend her for the crime of forgery. True. Please tell us more about this envelope. This envelope that may very well have killed your father.
All right.
What was that? By other than a painting, you mean? You'd only done paintings up to that point.
Yes. But Father had a realization. He noticed my talent extended to making things other than paintings.
For instance?
For instance, a letter someone had written, or a fingerprint left upon a cup, or a signature on a document, a seal upon a letter.
None of this makes her sound very innocent at all. And the $100,000 promised in this letter was the start. The beginning of a new industry for Drew Measham. A new industry? The creation of items to be used in criminal proceedings. Forging evidence, in other words. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, indeed. So, I guess the prosecution's new spin on this is that Vera now has a motive. That she wanted, like, out of the deal somehow. I mean, she was, like, tired, fed up of being used. Something like that. I don't know. So, you didn't know how the things you were making were being used? Guess not.
I enjoy painting very much.
I think I understand. Carlane has lived in an unusual little world. Can you tell us what happened to the papers that were in this envelope?
Father signed them and sent them back, I believe.
Did he follow the instructions? Send in the enclosed envelope with the enclosed stamp. This is a rather important matter. Give your answer some thought. Oh? Okay. I was like, weirded out for a second. But the text box wasn't appearing. See the stamp that was in the envelope? What do you mean you received it?
Did I do something wrong?
You didn't use that stamp because it was dangerous, correct? Deadly poison on the back. Atrocrinine. A moment, Air Forehead. Yeah, would Vera know that it was poisoned? I feel like she wouldn't. You can't force an answer upon the witness. Now then, perhaps you would tell me, Fraulein Vera? Why did you receive this stamp? That stare again. Is something wrong?
It was beautiful.
Oh, you mean it was one of those commemorative stamps?
Yes, I think it was.
So, you didn't know about the poison? I take that as a no. I guess not. So the trap failed by chance, by mistake, thanks to this commemorative stamp. Quite the close call. Well, if that's the case, then is Vera... Can you really say that Vera is guilty of murder? She had no idea? She had no intention of killing him? Basically suicide at that point, right? You mean you moved to where the current Drew studio is?
Yes, we saw very few people there. I began drawing picture books.
A single job had tied them to the criminal underworld. I think Mr. Measham wished to reduce their visibility in the world at large.
When we had to meet someone for some reason, Father posed as the creator of the work.
So that was the real essence of the artist, Drew Measham. You did the work, and he supplied the face. What a face it was. I should say hair. So, you really didn't know anything, did you? You had no idea how much danger you were in. Nope.
Apparently not.
About this commemorative stamp, could you tell us more about it? What was on it? Why was it so beautiful?
It was very pretty. And more than that,
Yes?
it was a picture of people I liked at the time.
Oh, this is something new. She knows about people? He's jamming. Apparently, we've got some cross-examination yet ahead of us. If you would be so kind as to continue your testimony, Fraulein. Oh. Okay, the stamp was a picture of my favorite magicians. Oh. Magicians?
I love mysterious things. I always have. Even though she fainted when she saw Mr. Hat.
She did? You're confusing mysterious with freaky. Hey, watch what you call Mr. Hat. He's a fine gentleman. And yum to you, Lily.
Father took me when I was very young. It was a great magic show. I loved it so much. See? See? Isn't magic great?
Fine, great, yeah, sure. No need to get all excited.
But the magic troupe we saw disbanded soon after. I was quite sad.
Did she just say what I think she said? Yep. There's only one group that could match what she said. Magic Troop. Now, where have I heard that before? The red envelope came after she completed her first job. That makes it a letter from her client. Whoever wanted a forgery made.
Apollo?
Close. Just have to piece together the parts. A deadly weapon in a red envelope. And the path it took to take Drew Misham's life. Let's go to the end here. And we shall present where memory envelope or you have to present something to do with Grammarys, right? So what do we have? We have a magic show ticket. You have the Grammarly envelope. Envelope from Mr. Right. Do not open until the time is right. I see what you did there. Yeah, we only have these two. Which one, though? Let's do this. Alright. I was right. Those magicians you liked. Was it this bunch? She's shocked!
Apollo, they're not a bunch.
I see. Still, I have to wonder. Why include a commemorative stamp like that in a business letter? Good question.
Well, pretty stamps are always better. You can't beat Troop Grammarly.
But the whole murder plan was a failure because of it. Ironic, don't you think? Prosecutor Gavin? Oh, he's sweating. Uh-oh. Has he realized something that I haven't? Prosecutor Gavin? Well, I mean, I can safely assume that the Grammarly case from 7 years ago and this letter from 7 years ago are connected somehow, you know? And Zach's disappearance. They're all connected. Grammarly. What's with Gavin? Might I ask just one question of this witness? In your testimony just now, you stated this was your first work that was other than a painting. Please, tell me, what exactly did you make?
Can I ask why?
No. Answer the question. Now. Oh. The cool guy's losing his cool. Prosecutor Gavin? You're usually not the one whose volume concerns me. Yes, it is unbecoming of me. I apologize. But I must know, please. Miss Misham, tell me.
It was a book. A single page in a book.
Book? Please be more specific.
It was a handwritten book. Like a diary.
Oh, he knows. No! Don't! No! Why does it concern him so much?
Well, what's wrong with Prosecutor Gavin? He looks like he just saw a ghost.
Miss Misham, this book. Was there a picture of a silk hat on the back cover? Yes or no?
How did you know?
Prosecutor Gavin, the defendant is answering all your questions. Stop badgering her. He's told you nothing, has he? Your soiled, sullied mentor. Nothing? Sullied? Who? Phoenix Wright. Who else?
Daddy?
Oh. Was that... That was the forged evidence he used.
He never told you about the trial 7 years ago? About how he came to lose his attorney's badge?
Mm-hmm.
It was a certain piece of evidence that decided his fate, you know. A certain diary. On the back, it bore the mark of a silk hat.
What?
Phoenix Wright, tossed out of the profession by false evidence. And the forger who made that evidence. Is this girl standing right in front of me? Vera, you must tell us. The evidence you made was used in a trial 7 years ago. Who asked Drew Measham, you, to forge that evidence? For all our sakes, who was it? We only met once. You met the client? Well, who was it? It was... What? Why is her stare blank again? What's going on with Vera? She's staring at Prosecutor Gavin's face again. Yes, what? Is there something about me? I remember clearly. I remember who gave me the book. The diary. Who was it? Vera! Oh no. The devil. What? Is she okay? Unconscious. Examiner's diagnosis. Acute atroquinine poisoning. Oh no. Okay, she's as good as dead. This ends the recording of the trial for the murder of Drew Measham. Phoenix Wright. Simple my ass. Holy shit. I can't kill her. Is that why she collapsed? In the detention room. She didn't collapse because she was scared by Mr. Hat. No. She was poisoned. But that means, since atroquinine acts in like 15 minutes, there's no way 15 minutes. Yet, there's no way it was only 15 minutes between the detention room meeting and now. So, why hasn't she collapsed earlier? Why is she not dead? Vera Measham was, during the trial, poisoned by an unknown assailant. The dosage was just under the lethal amount. Oh, okay. Whew. Sparing the defendant's life. She's currently in intensive care and is not to be disturbed for any reason. A very simple case, at first glance, until it finally began to show its true colors. Oh! It's the song! The classic. Ah, how I missed you. The long road to the truth takes us to the record of another trial. There he is! It's our boy. In some ways, that was the starting point of it all. What the fuck? Is that Clavier? Okay. He definitely changed. Probably for the better. And that is where we must go. Aww. To find the whole truth. The little Trucy, she's adorable. To be continued. Wait, that was it? That was it for that part? Okay. Yeah, let's save. Episode 4, Tournament Succession. Showdown time. Oh, we're back here. I lost.
It's only a game of poker. A game I've played for a long time. And only lost twice. Who was the first? The man I killed, of course. Well, it seems I found the partner I've been looking for all along. Over a game of cards? Why, yes, over a game of cards. There they are. Phoenix and Zack. That's how we first met. 7 years ago. 7 years earlier, Phoenix Wright's first trial. Oh, final trial. We've done the first. April 19th, 9:27 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 2. Holy shit. This is incredible. Okay, it's been a long time since I felt like such a rookie. Oh, the music too. Never thought I'd be nostalgic for a game I played like... Actually, it has been quite a while, hasn't it? Only a few months ago, huh? I gotta say, nothing beats this, like, pre-trial theme. This one's the best. Let's try and relax. Ah, good morning, Mr. Enigmar. Enigmar. I'm sorry to have sprung this on you so suddenly. I received the files from your previous attorney only yesterday. But he looks like a Giga Chad. Honestly, I'm not entirely sure I'm prepared. I understand I'm asking the impossible of you. Yes, well, you haven't really told me what happened yet. All we did was play cards. And that was enough. Actually, it wasn't. Trust me. Aw, Juicy's in pink. Ooh. Oh, okay, I need to... This is like Tiny Juicy. She needs a proper voice.
Ooh, morning, Daddy.
Oh, I'm so glad you came.
You okay, Daddy? They peeing on you?
I'm fine as always. This old boy is here to help me after all. That's young man to you. Good morning. That's a cute outfit you have on.
Thanks. The first show's today, after all.
Oh, I'm sure it is. What the heck is she talking about?
Ooh, old boy.
Huh? Me? Look what he started.
Here.
What's this? It seems fate's clock will make me wait a little longer. At least, only less than 10 swift minutes remain. To all those who have supported me in my life's work, I give thanks. Farewell, Magnifique Grammary.
I don't know. I just got it over there in the hall. They told me to give it to the old boy in the blue suit with the spiky hair. They said it was really important.
What's this? A memo for you or some such? Not from the looks of it. What is this? Looks like a page from someone's diary. Is that a forged piece of evidence? And Phoenix didn't know about it. I'll give it a read later. What's that in my inventory? Well, how do you feel about the trial today? We'll get through it. Somehow. This is so cool. I know they pulled this trick on you before. You know, playing as another attorney in the past. Like when you got to play as Mia. At one time, and when you... I guess also when you got to play as Edgeworth. Those are the best. Incidentally, prosecutor today is a new guy, I hear. Ah, an easy win then, yes? They're calling him a true thoroughbred in the history of the prosecutor. In the history of the prosecutor's office. Burn it, Phoenix. The devil's evidence. What are you talking about? Chusey gave it to me. I can trust Chusey. This time she's like small and pink. Of course I can trust her. Of course, there's one of those every year. The switching of attorneys just before the trial. I know it is a difficult situation I put you in. But allow me to say one thing, Mr. Wright. Yes? They will not be able to pronounce me guilty today. So, do your best, but do not worry. First time a defendant's ever given me a pep speech. Also, hello, Zywolf. Hope you're doing well. I'll do what I can. I see you do not understand. You see, it will be impossible for them to declare a verdict. Impossible? Yes. Isn't that right, Chusey?
Yep, you bet, Daddy.
My first look at the case was only yesterday. The information I was given was a tad bit lacking, to be honest. What do we even have right now? We have a crime photo. Photographs received during the preliminary hearing. Body found in the hospital room. Shot in the forehead. Shot in the forehead? Oh. It's quite the hole. Okay, we have an IV here. Needle. A wallet / stationery bag. A golden gun. The diary. And a clown. Fucking clowns, I swear to God. What is it with Ace Attorney putting clowns everywhere? Every game, there's gotta be a clown. Autopsy report. Cause of death. Single gunshot to the head. Estimated time of death, 11 o'clock, 11:30 p.m. Loss of blood from bullet wound. Malignant tumor confirmed in victim's liver. You doing well? It's good to hear. Hope you enjoy this. Mysterious paper received just before the trial. Alright, I already read that. Farewell, Magnifi Grammary. Still, I'll do what I can, for their sake. I believe the curtains will be lifting any time now. I'm in your capable hands, Mr. Wright. My client is Shady Enigmar, or like Chatty Enigmar, known to the world as Zach Grammary. Oh, so it's Chusey's actual name, or birth name. Chusey Enigmar. A wildly popular magician, star of Troupe Grammary. His mentor, Magnifi Grammary, was a rare breed of magician. He single-handedly ushered in a golden age of stage magic, until he was shot dead. And Zach Grammary is the suspect. Alright, it's 10 a.m. Court number 7. It's good to see our old reliable judge. Court is now in session for the trial of Shady Enigmar. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Is the prosecution ready? I was just thinking. Is this what all the fuss is about? Bit of a buzzkill, really. Buzzkill? Is this some new kind of crime? One of the worst.
This is the trial, yeah? Or the sweaty palms, pounding hearts. The Governor's concert got 10 times the thrill that this, 10 times the thrill this gig got.
Who are you again?
Clavier Gavin. I came to get the party started, legally, yeah?
Gavin. Defense attorney Christoph Gavin's...
Figures my bro's more famous in this part of town. Clavier Gavin, lead singer for the mega hit band The Gaviners. You're out of your league, rock boy. Rock boy. Well, at least Phoenix knows his place now. He is the ace attorney after all. It's more confident. I know what you're thinking. You're out of your league, rock boy. Oh shit. Pulled a Joseph Joestar. True, my debut single, 13 Years, Hard Time for Love, went platinum overnight. That's just a hobby to me compared to this, yeah? Talkative, aren't you? I like your affected Euro-rock accent, by the way. I'm just getting warmed up. Her attorney right?
Perhaps you would be so kind as to fill us on the case. Fill us in on the case.
Achtung, baby. Time to call upon the opening act. What was his name again? Ah, yes. Detective Gumshoe. Hit it. Yo! Oh my... Everyone's here. My old friends. Oh, I miss you, Gumshoe. My old buddy. Old pal. And you are?
Hey, you were the one who called me up here, sir.
I miss doing his voice so much.
Name's Dick Gumshoe.
It's Gummy.
I'm a homicide detective down at the precinct.
Detective Gumshoe. Long time no see.
Hey, you.
Huh? Me?
Today's the day, pal. Today I win and you lose. I got confidence in my testimony today, see?
What, you normally lack confidence in your testimony? Yo, detective. This is my stage. Can the antics.
Huh?
All this hey youing and such. I can care less about your history together.
Oh, this guy, it's...
Actually, Clavier, it's couldn't care less.
Yeah.
Maybe that was intentional. Maybe that wasn't a typo. That was intentional because the writers wanted you to know how much of a noob Clavier is.
Very well, Detective Gumshoe, if you would. Please tell us about the case at hand.
Oh, the song. Oh. Oh yeah.
It happened 6 days back. In a room at the General Hospital.
What a noob.
The facts are simple as they come. Here's the crime scene. The victim was a patient, asleep in the hospital bed. The killer comes in, puts a pistol to his forehead, and bam, lights out. Them's the facts.
Seems too simple.
Not so long ago, the victim, Magnifi Gremory, was a famous man. He had the entire country under his magical spell, as it were. Ah, yes, the great magician. He retired years ago, though.
Say the name Magnifi to one of my generation, and you'd be lucky to get a blank stare.
Yes, though I'm sure the youngsters today know his disciples even better. I dare say Troop Gremory has made quite a name for themselves. Anyhow, the retired Magnifi's been in the hospital for the last year. What was it? A malignorant tumor or something. Doing something to his liver, I think. Yeah.
Some detective you are. Yeah, that's our old Gumshoe, huh? Never change.
A malignant tumor, perhaps.
In other words, he had liver cancer. He only had 3 months left to live, in fact. Liver cancer.
Facts do seem simple enough. But something's not right.
The victim was already climbing a 3-month stairway to heaven. Why not wait for him to knock, knock, knock on heaven's door? Or shoot him? I wouldn't have put it quite so lyrically, but it's true. Why make the effort to commit murder when the victim was about to die?
Incidentally, the victim had a serious case of diabetes.
Diabetes? In fact, he was about to shoot up with insulin.
Ah, so that's what the needle was for.
He was shot with a pistol. A syringe was found at the crime scene. Chronic diabetes and cancer. As much as it pains me to say it, the victim was clearly at the end of his life.
You know, part of me misses seeing Phoenix in his in his hobo getup with the stubble on his chin. I believe the question before us is clear then. Why did the killer have to shoot this dying man? What reason could he have had?
Very well, Detective. Perhaps you can enlighten us as to the circumstances of the shooting.
Yes, sir.
Circumstances. Oh, it's the... They're using all the classics.
It's a thing. Yeah, I'm pogging out, guys. I'm pogging. If only I had a more expressive model. Let's see. Actually, the victim kind of ordered the defendant to do him in. A few days before it happened, the victim sent a letter ordering his own murder. The defendant did what was asked of him, and shot the old man in the forehead. The bullet was fired from the pistol found at the scene, no doubt about it. And the pistol definitely belonged to the old man, sir.
Best soundtrack? True.
I have yet to find a better complete package than the Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney 1 soundtrack. What? You're saying the victim ordered his own shooting?
Those are the facts. I have the letter in question.
Oh. I couldn't read it. Okay. Very unusual indeed.
Alright, let's take a look at this. Magnafie's letter. Letter asking Zack to shoot him. To my beloved Zack. To you I entrust the task of lowering my life's curtain. Come on the 13th, 11:05 p.m. I will ready a gun with which you will shoot one shot square in the forehead. You cannot refuse. We both know the reason why. Ominous. Also confusing. I don't know the reason why, and that frustrates me.
Although, could such a thing as a letter really cause one to pull a trigger, I wonder?
I believe the answer to that question can be found at the end of the letter.
Ah, you cannot refuse, and we both know the reason why. Good old blackmail. Detective Gumshoe, can you explain this to the court? Unfortunately, the defendant won't say a peep about that bit, sir.
One thing bothers me about this. Why didn't he just say 11? Why have him come at 11:05 without some specific reason? The devil is in the details, Sir Attorney.
Oh, was there some reason?
As it turns out, there was, every night for a half hour, starting at 11. The victim, Magnafie Gremory, was given an IV.
An IV?
There it is.
There it is in the picture, up to the side of the bed.
At 11 o'clock, a doctor would come to set up the IV. 30 minutes later, he would come back for the empty bag. This happened every night, without fail. So that was the only time they could meet without the chance of an untimely interruption. During his IV.
Well, shall we begin? Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, if you would.
What's his reason he couldn't refuse, I wonder? He could have at least mentioned it to me. Oh yeah. It's go time. And a little, like, eye portraits on the bottom screen, too. With the new attorneys. So good. Oh. Oh, my boy. Just like the good old days. Just because he got the letter doesn't mean he went through with it. Oh, I disagree. The victim was, indeed, shot in the forehead after all, just as he had commanded. Could be a setup. But let's not be in such a hurry. Maybe we should let the witness talk for a change. Thanks, pal. Fine. I can play it slow as well as I can play it fast. On with the testimony, Detective Gumshoe. And this letter was sent by the victim. There it is. Gotcha. Don't mind this time, pal. Huh? And the handwriting checked out. Of course. It's the victim's. No mistake. Ah, I see. Score one for the boys. I didn't lose. I was just ascertaining the facts. So, why am I annoyed? What, a letter ordering your own death? These aren't what they used to be, I guess. I'm not sure this is exactly commonplace even now, Your Honor. Oh, anyway, I guess I'll keep going while I'm ahead. You go, Gumshoe. You are winning. You're winning in our hearts. How can you be so sure? Hey, you gotta learn to stop relying on people to do your thinking for you, pal. Learn to think for yourself. Get that noggin cranking. You failed to grasp the concept of questioning a detective. First, we got this letter. It says shoot in the forehead, loud and clear. I can see that, but I still wouldn't do it. Well, maybe you need to grow yourself a backbone, pal. Failed to grasp the concept of shooting people is bad, detective. We also found the defendant's pistol at the scene. Traces of gunpowder residue shows that it had been fired recently. Mr. Wright? As far as I can tell from looking at this photo, there seems to be no issue with the prosecution's claim. The photo. Maybe there's something in there I can use. They're saying the defendant shot the victim in the forehead. There's a hole in the prosecution's argument. Clearly, Mr. Enigmar. Okay, well, there's clearly a hole in the clown's head, right? So maybe we can say that. Shot something else. Looking at this photo, another possibility occurs to me. Yes? What does the letter tell us? That the defendant had a reason he couldn't refuse his teacher's wishes. Bingo, pal. That's why the defendant popped him one in the forehead. Oh, the defense disagrees. You see, the defendant had another choice he could make.
Objection!
What? You can prove that with this photo? See the letter again. One shot square in the forehead. He didn't specify whose forehead. So let me check this. Small syringe. I always hated getting shots. I guess Magnify was giving himself the insulin shots. Yeah, there's no way I could do that. Ugh. Wait. If Magnify used this to inject insulin, why are there no traces of it having been used? Something to keep in mind. Never been used. Interesting. Malignant tumor in liver has progressed to the final stage with no hope of recovery. Patient has 3 months to live. Patient has chronic diabetes, requires regular insulin. Yeah, that's rough. Anything else? No. I can prove he had a choice, yes.
The defendant might have fired, like he was ordered. But he didn't shoot the victim's forehead. Well, let's hear what you're thinking, Mr. Wright. If he didn't shoot the victim's forehead, what did the defendant shoot?
He shot the clown.
The clown doll.
Take a closer look. See? It's been shot in the forehead, too.
Oh, there's a hole in its forehead.
Yes, and a hole in the prosecution's claim. Ha! And I suppose you have a reason as to why he'd shoot the clown doll.
He didn't just shoot...
He didn't just shoot the doll. He shot the doll's forehead. His forehead? Ah, maybe that's where Clivier gets his hatred for foreheads from. Let's read the orders once more, shall we? You will shoot 1 shot square in the forehead. Which is exactly what he did. He shot the clown doll square. That's not the right cadence. He shot the clown doll square in the forehead.
The defense has raised an intriguing possibility. That hole in the clown's forehead definitely looks like it was shot. Bailiff, send someone to investigate this matter.
I admit, I'm impressed, but I expected nothing less. Still, this doesn't mean he didn't shoot the victim. Perhaps he did have to shoot a forehead as ordered, but the letter says nothing about whose forehead. This was the only way he had to follow orders, without taking a life.
The bullet hole in the clown doll's forehead does demand an explanation. It might very well be a clue, yet Prosecutor Gavin is right. It alone does not prove the defendant's innocence. You cannot say for sure the defendant didn't shoot the victim.
So sorry, Mr. Wright. How sad it is to see the mighty fall. Can't we just check the gun? I feel like if there's a gun, they can tell if it's been fired once or twice. How sad it is to see the novice's overconfidence. He doesn't realize just how big this little hole is going to get.
Oh.
How lewd.
Detective Gumshoe, please take this newfound fact into account as you continue your testimony.
Still shot the victim, pal. So let me get this straight. You're saying my client first shot the clown, then shot the victim? Hey! Not a bad summary, pal. More of a confirmation than a summary, but whatever. That was really more of a confirmation than a summary. But our defense attorney seems pleased enough with himself. Do these people ever miss a chance to mock me? Oh, now that Mr. Wright's gotten that out of his system. Shall we continue with the testimony? I didn't have the time to gather all the details before coming in here. This testimony might be my only source of information. Better pay attention and read this letter carefully. We'll shoot 1 shot. There it is. 1 shot, 0 kills. Head. Your Honor? Wait, what? Did I not present the right thing?
It does? I don't see anything contradictory.
Oh, really?
Objection overruled.
Wait, are you serious? Am I crazy? What if you shot the clown? He still shot the victim, pal. I'm gonna save here.
I'm pretty sure I did this. Yeah, I'm not crazy. Why? Huh?
Defendant did what was asked of him and he shot the old man in the forehead.
Okay. What's wrong here? What do I have to do? They say pay attention to the letter, so I did that. And I saw the detail that they probably want from me.
What am I missing? Act is in the middle of the hospital. Anyone could have come in at that moment.
Yeah, but no one did come, but did they, pal? Besides, it's what I would have done. Always look before you shoot, I say.
I suggest we move on. This is getting us nowhere. Patients will get there sooner than you think.
Maybe... Oh, sorry. Oh, my mic.
Really need to get like a mic arm or something. Maybe I present it here. Nope. Ugh. Am I stupid? Am I dumb? I mean this pistol, the one at the crime scene photo.
That's the one. Funny looking gun, so there's no mistaking it.
Compared the bullet taken from the victim's skull with the bullet fired from his gun. The rifling marks on the bullets were a perfect match. So, you verified the murder weapon, in other words.
You bet we did.
Why are you so certain?
What pile of sand has your head been stuck in all this time, pal? You ever heard of Zack and Valens quick draw shoot 'em?
Oh, what's that?
One of the defendant's specialties.
That has to be Lamora in the middle. Everything's connected.
Zack and Valens stand on either side of a girl. Then they shoot. The bullets don't hit her. Instead, they hit everything else on stage. It's one of the pistols they used in their show. Got a great design, huh? Kids love it. Kids?
Many boys and girls joined the police because of that pistol, I hear. This part didn't age well, I suppose. You know, that would explain a lot about the police force.
Your grammar stopped doing that act a while ago. The old man held on to that pistol ever since. One would like to see the pistol in question. Oh. Okay. Guess that's what I had to do. Got it, sir. Here she is. Oh, this truly is a blast from the past. It's a stage pistol for magic shows, see? It can fire real bullets. Looks so much bigger in real life than on TV. Yeah, but it can only hold one round. By the way, pistol's firing chamber is empty. And it shows traces of having been fired recently. So, were there any fingerprints found on the gun? Unfortunately, no. Of course, the defendant is known for wearing gloves. I might say that a lack of fingerprints is, in fact, a fingerprint of its own. Aha, intriguing point. Well made. Whoa. Not well made, not intriguing. In any case, the court accepts this evidence. Stage pistol. My grandchild would get a kick out of seeing this. Now it's time to return to our testimony. What if he shot the clown? He still shot the pal. Fires one real bullet. Okay, I guess I present this then. I want to examine this though. It's a cool looking gun. Here we go. If you look closely, you can see how the pistol's made to bend here. It's a one-shot only model. I guess the bend is where you load it. So, this is the famous Gramarye Golden Gun. Say kids used to love pretending they had one of these. I wonder if they pretended to miss their targets too. What we present here. We have to, right? Objection! Yeah. Trickiest cases often seem the simplest. Prosecutor Gavin, you missed the bullet hole in the clown's forehead. If you hadn't missed that, you might have come to a very different conclusion. Understand? Yeah, but just like I said, pal. After you shot the clown in the forehead, you went and... Objection! Classic objection. Who can beat it? No one so far. Did nothing of the sort to the victim. The pistol proves he could not. A murder weapon? How? It's quite simple, Your Honor. This pistol only holds one bullet at a time. You shot the clown in the forehead. You couldn't have shot the victim too. Yarr! That's not a contradiction, not even close. All he had to do was reload the pistol after the first shot. Oh, where did he get the extra bullet? Not easy to come by, you know. He claimed the defendant had one ready, and proved to us how he got it. Yeah. I had a feeling this wasn't over yet. No, this party's just getting started. And I haven't proven anything yet, beyond my good looks and startling record sales. And utter lack of humility. Oh, what's this? Seems the prosecution has another witness prepared. Like I said, our detective was just the warm-up act. Now that the audience has gotten a taste of what's to come, they're ready. Ready for what? My decisive witness, of course. A witness who, you will find, can prove one thing for us. That it was Zach Gramarye who shot the victim in the forehead. Alright, who is it? Very well. We'll pause for a 15-minute recess. This might be my lucky break. I'll need that 15 minutes to talk to my client, Zach. Court is adjourned. To be continued. Oh, these are short parts. Is this a three-parter? A three-part stream? Perhaps four? April 19th, 11:21 a.m. Defendant lobby number 2. Very impressive, Mr. Wright. I have to say, I expected nothing less. We've only just begun. I was hoping you could tell me a bit more about what happened, actually. I did not think you would believe me if I told you. Better that you discovered the truth for yourself. I was thinking of you, you know?
I think we need less thinking and more talking. That night in the hospital, what really happened?
Ah, the way your eyes gleam, Mr. Wright. Scare Trucy.
Speaking of which, where is she?
You've seen the problem yourself, the letter.
The one shot in the forehead. One, right?
Yes, and the reason he speaks of. I could not deny my mentor's wishes, even if it meant my own death.
Why not?
This is something I will not say. For now, at least.
What's this for now business?
I have done many things in my life, some well, some poorly. But this is a cross we must bear alone to our graves.
We?
You wanted to know about the night of the incident?
Finally. This guy sure likes to take his time getting to the important stuff.
Of course, I had no intention of shooting my mentor. I snuck into his room that night at the appointed time. And found there upon his bedside table 2 pistols. 2 pistols! 2? Yes, the one I had used on stage, and the one that had been used by my partner, Valent.
Valent. Oh, for the Zack and Valent's quick draw thing.
My mentor, with the look of one sleeping. I stood by his bedside, hearing the only light sound was breathing. When I took the pistol into my hand, you cannot deny that my resolve faltered then for a moment.
You faltered? You mean you thought about shooting him?
Recall there was a reason I could not refuse his request.
His last such request, though not his first. So, there were other requests you couldn't refuse before.
To be honest, I've not always been steadfast, and I fear I've brought pain upon Trucy.
Is Magnifi coercing his disciple somehow? Just what was going on in Troop Grammary?
Yet, in the end, I did not shoot him. Instead, I turned and shot the clown. I took the pistol I had fired and placed it in my pocket.
In your pocket?
I believe if you examine the bullet in the clown's head, you will find it to be different than the one of my mentor.
What were those called? Rifling marks.
Yes, well, that is all I have to tell you concerning the case.
Concerning the case? You mean there's something else you can tell me?
You're a fascinating man, Mr. Wright.
Thanks?
Yes, there is something. My mentor, his eyes opened.
What? Magnific Grammary?
The old devil. He was not asleep, you'll see. Of course, the gunshot would have woken him anyway. And there we had our last discussion as mentor and pupil. It was not a long discussion. Maybe 10 minutes or so.
What did you talk about?
Mr. Wright, did I not just tell you? It does not concern this case.
Zack Grammary seems pretty steadfast to me.
Maybe just stubborn.
Mr. Wright, your presence is requested in the courtroom.
Once again, I am in your hands.
Right, let's get back in there.
Showtime. Court is now back in session.
During our recess, a bullet was found in and dug out from the clown's head.
Well, this is news. And the rifling marks?
There wasn't time to do a detailed analysis, though they did find the weapon type matches the murder weapon.
Well, that's not very conclusive, is it?
Which is why I'm about to call my very decisive witness.
Your decisive witness?
How many times have I heard those words? Though they often turn out to be far less decisive than you think.
Oh, don't worry on my account. I'm quite confident this witness will do the job.
After all, he is intimately acquainted with the players in our little production. Don't tell me it's Valent.
It's Valent.
Valent Grammary. So, we get to meet the other great Magnifi's other disciple.
No facial hair this time.
Perhaps we'll start by asking your name and occupation.
Valid Grammary, magician. And you're the decisive witness, are you? Prove your fellow student. Your partner's guilt?
This guy's the main villain. He has to be.
Wait, the Grand Illusion. Filled with traps and tricks.
Wait, the shooting took place in the hospital after 11 o'clock at night. If you're a witness, does that mean you were there that late?
If one were to deduce this logically, then the conclusion is yes.
Okay. I always get the characters, don't I? You certainly do. I have an interesting fact for you. You see, several days before the crime, my witness received this.
That looks very familiar.
Wait. That's the same letter Zach Grammary received. Yes. Or perhaps I should say, ta-da!
Order, order, order. What does it say? Surely not the same thing.
Perhaps you should see for yourself.
Same thing. Why, it's practically the same. The court accepts this as evidence.
Magnifi's letter 2.
The sequel. This is most unusual. What was going on with you folks? What exactly was your true Grammary up to?
It had to be some kind of fight over succession, right? Who gets to be the leader? That's why this turnabout is called Turnabout Succession. And I guess Valiant was the one to win. In the end. Yeah, this guy's definitely the main villain.
By what you mean? I'm just having trouble envisioning a man who would ask his students to kill him. Both of them no less.
It's just my opinion, Herr Judge. From these letters, I'd say he was coercing them, not asking them.
We walked the magician's path together, and in so doing, shared much of our lives. When people are close, there is strain, a warping of relations, you might say. Yet this has nothing to do with the case at hand.
By which you mean you're not going to tell us? Which makes me wonder even more about this reason they couldn't refuse. Whenever they say it has nothing to do with the case, it means everything to do with the case. That is the #1 rule of Ace Attorney. Number 2 being, press every statement.
Well, let's get on with the testimony for starters. The defendant, Zach Grammary, stands accused. Tell us why.
Oh, I'll do more than that. For where he walks, the red roses rise singing hymns to the miracle that is magic.
Fascinating. Though I hardly need to remind you that the evidence could just as clearly point to you as the suspect. The letter, the murder weapon, and now the 2 bullets found at the scene.
In fact, the only difference seems to be the designated time.
As every magician knows, timing is everything. Yes. And now it's time to get this party fired up. At night, I visited the hospital room at the time Magnifi requested. The smell of gunpowder hung in the room. My mentor had taken his final bow. I did not imagine my fellow student might have received the same instructions. Yet a deal with the dead is still a deal. That sweet kiss I gave to the clown. Then I informed the doctor and the police.
So you were the one who reported the crime.
Indeed. I would think. This fact alone would clear my name as suspicion. Let's not jump to any conclusions.
Yes, the cross-examination generally comes before the conclusions in court.
What if your testimony proves to be true? Then the defendant, Zach Ramery, is guilty.
And if it wasn't Zach Ramery, then the killer was you, Valent.
It was definitely him.
And no disappearing act will get you out of that.
What time did he request?
Let's see. At 11:20.
Which, according to the letter, was 11:20 p.m. Indeed. Magic, timing is everything.
Right.
Consider the illusion of teleportation. If I were to appear on stage before my stunt double has left, how would that look? Why, it would reveal the very secrets of my magic.
Now that you revealed the very secrets of your magic for all of us, let's move on.
You went at the designated time. And what did you see? So you saw Magnifie's dead body. So you weren't worried for your own safety at all. I mean, you smelled gunpowder, yes? What if the shooter was still nearby? I did not consider this, to be honest. Oh. He's about to crack there. He's slipping. It is forbidden for a magician to have a good imagination. Really? Isn't magic all about illusions and imagination? How about this? You were the shooter, which is why you weren't afraid. Oh. Now you are the one imagining. It is forbidden for a lawyer to have a good imagination. Witness will refrain from pausing so suspiciously before responding. My forbidden imagination is starting to imagine things. Which brings us back to this reason neither of you could refuse. So it does, and my partner. You did not refuse. But Magnifie wrote the same thing to you. Why could you refuse if Zach couldn't? Because I have a will of steel, of course. I also do this trick where I bend steel bars. So perhaps steel isn't also strong. So which is it? Mind if I continue? There were 2 bullet holes at the scene. One in the victim and one in the clown. You're saying the one who shot the clown was you? No doubt my partner Zach has said much the same thing. Yeah, because whoever didn't shoot the clown committed murder. Better dig around here a bit more and see what I can turn up. Mr. Valent, let me ask about something else concerning the crime scene. Namely, bullet in the pistol, location of the pistol, number of pistols. Well, the pistol can only hold 1 bullet, so I feel like asking this would be counterproductive. Let's go with option number 3. How many pistols were there when you entered the room? By which you mean what, precisely? 2 pistols were used in the Zach and Valent quick draw shoot-'em, correct? 1 for each of you. You are well informed, yet only one of my old friends sat in the hospital room that night. Or did Zach tell me back in the lobby? Yeah, he took one of them. Of course, I had no intention of shooting my mentor. I snuck into his room that night, and at the appointed time. Found there upon his bedside table 2 pistols. I took the pistol I'd fired and placed it in my pocket. I see no problem with that statement. Only 1 pistol is visible in the photograph at the crime scene, after all. And so you picked up that pistol and fired it? Indeed I did. Alakazam, alakazing, alakaboom. Is the number of pistols really so important? Probably not. Already a gun, with which you will shoot 1 shot square in the forehead. a gun. Also. Not important. Actually, let me ask about something else. Very well. Witness may continue with the testimony. What can I do but obey? Let's ask about the bullet. In order to shoot a pistol, you need a bullet. Where was the bullet? I entered the room and I took the pistol in my hand. The bullet was already loaded, ready to fire at any time. A magician is always prepared, you see. Prepared for... one never knows when a miracle will be called for. A magician always has 7 dubs in his pocket, and a white rabbit up each sleeve. Clearly we're dealing with professionals here. Is this bullet that was loaded in the pistol really so important? Well, Zach said the bullets aren't the same, right? So if Zach's pistol is in his pocket, so that pistol should be matching the one, it should be matching the bullet in the clown. And Valent's pistol should be matching the one, well, in Magnifie's head. I'll say it's quite important. Without a loaded bullet, we wouldn't have had a murder. It's very important, Your Honor. Very well. Please add this detail to your testimony. What can I do but obey? If the pistol was already loaded, something doesn't make sense. Why weren't the victim's fingerprints on it? You should know that we of the Troop Gramarye are capable of many things. One of these being the levitation of iron balls, without touching them. Ball lifters. There's no magic involved here. The shooter was just methodical, is all. He simply wiped everything off. He simply wiped everything of fingerprints. Can't really do much with fingerprints that weren't there. I should ask about something else. Location? Where exactly was the pistol when you entered the room? Top a small bedside table it was. As if to say, here I am. Take me into your hand. Pull my trigger. Shoot him. The victim clearly wanted to be shot. But why? Perhaps he wanted to go out with a bang? Yet we will never hear the truth from his lips, so all we can do is guess. Is the location of the pistol all that important? Bedside table, huh? Well, that checks out. I don't think it is. No. Actually, let me ask something else. Both of Magnifie's students received the same letter. Both admit to having gone to the hospital that night. 2 bullets were fired, and one of them killed Magnifie. Time to find the cracks in his testimony. I forgot to press this part. So you informed the police. What did you do then? What do you suppose I did? Use my magic to levitate my mentor's corpse, perhaps? I don't know, that's why I'm asking. No, now please answer the question and skip the sarcasm. After I made my report, I called the doctor and we returned to the room. While we waited for the police to arrive, we discussed stomach medicine.
We've confirmed this with the doctor. It all checks out.
He praised Mr. Vallon's knowledge of stomach medicine, in fact. It is an honor I do not deserve, but I accept. Well, the pistol was already loaded. How does that make sense? Because given what we know, what the court thinks at this point, they think that Zach Gramarye did it by shooting pistol, right? And that there was only one pistol. In that case, why would the pistol be loaded? I think I've got it. Okay. I say present the pistol.
Objection!
Nope. Alright. What were the other questions? Number? Sure. It's quite important, Your Honor. So you took the only pistol there and fired it. That's correct. And that pistol was this one, which was left at the crime scene. Good show. I see you too are a magician of sorts. And you're an idiot of sorts. You have any idea what you just said? I see the fire in your eyes as you glare at the witness. It's all about heating up this trial a bit. These slow ballads bore me. Got a hunch, but maybe that's all it is. Maybe I should ask about something else. No, we got it. Second thought, let's run with this testimony for a while longer. So what do I present here? If I present this, what does that say? If I present this, I'm saying that Zach was already dead. You said this. Right. Not Zach. Magnify. Magnify was already dead. And Zach did come in earlier to shoot a gun. According to your testimony, the only gun in the room. Therefore, that gun should have been empty. However, the gun that you have is loaded. Therefore, you are wrong. If I present this, what does that say? The gun can only fire one bullet. Therefore, the gun that you found should not have been loaded. Therefore, there should have been another gun? We'll go with this.
Objection!
No. shit. I think my logic is right. My logic is right, but I just need to find the right combination. Just save before I die. Okay. My second hunch was correct. According to the defendant, Zach Gramery, when he entered the room, there were 2 pistols on that table. 2? One of those pistols he used to shoot the clown in the forehead, and he left with it in his pocket. Of course, this is what he would say. Like the hapless clown, he must assume our defendant has some brains in his head. Well, what about what Mr. Valent has told us? You see, there's something about his testimony that doesn't make sense. What might that be? I told you, I took the pistol that was there and shot the clown. That's your story, at least. But the rifling marks tell a very different story, Mr. Valent. Recall what Prosecutor Gavin told us. We compared the bullet taken from the victim's skull with the bullet fired from this gun. The rifling marks on the bullets were a perfect match. Yep. Saw this one coming. Mr. Valent, if you fired this pistol, then you shot the victim in the forehead. Order, order, order! Well, this is all rather sudden. What have I done? Prosecutor Gavin, I owe the court an apology. Sorry. Sorry for what? You see, I was unaware that 2 of these unique pistols were crafted. The analysis of the rifling marks only proved the type of gun that fired them. Are you kidding me? But that's not what you told us before. You said you verified the murder weapon. Which is why I'm apologizing to you now. Quite sincerely, I might add. Would you hold me accountable for a mistake made in my youth? Fucking kids these days. That was just this morning. I'm still young. And I might add, it wasn't really my fault. Blame it all on Gumshoe, huh? How old is he? 17? Holy shit. Is he the youngest so far? Francisca, she was like 18 or something, right? Man, this legal system is something else. You graduate high school, go straight into law. You know, as you normally do. Magnifique Gramery, age 67. Oh, he wore black, huh? Shady Enigmar, 40. Alan Gramery, age 37. We don't know his real name, though. Dick Gumshoe. Trucy Enigmar. Look at that cute. Look at that little cute little button. He does not look 17. Not at all. Dude, he's fucking ripped. His shirt's like half undone. Actually, his shirt's just made like that. There are no buttons there, but you know what I mean. Got quite the cleavage. Yeah, he definitely has dickhead energy. Gotta say, maybe lose the shades. Wear sunglasses inside. If the defendant had only admitted he took 1 pistol from the scene of the crime, we would not be having this pleasant discussion now. Alan Gramery? We appreciate titties of all genders. True. I can appreciate a good titty
No matter whose chest it's on. One sec. Yeah, take a sip. A drink in honor of titties. You're presented to this court as a decisive witness. You've proven to be more divisive than decisive.
Objection!
You'll see in time. The testimony so far has merely been a review of the facts. Proof comes next.
Care to elaborate, Prosecutor Gavin?
When Mr. Valiant entered the hospital room, the victim had already been shot. And his next testimony will prove. All right, the real fight is about to begin.
Bring it. Very well. The witness will now testify to the court. Help us determine who shot what.
Who shot what?
Oh. Turning up the heat.
I arrived in the hospital room at the appointed time, which is to say 11:20 p.m. After discovering the body, I fulfilled my obligation, then called in the doctor. The doctor examined the body before the police arrived. He was quite clear about the time of death, 11:10 p.m. And the one in the room at that time was my partner, not me.
Those times are rather close, you have to admit. We're talking about an alibi established over a matter of minutes. Use a 10-minute discrepancy as the basis of your alibi.
It's easy to explain in this situation, Herr Judge. For example, make her debut hit single. 13 years our time for love. Due to the song, press the play button, enable play for 2 minutes 15 seconds. Do it 100 times and the result is the same. Her debut single is only 2 minutes and 15 seconds long? What a ripoff. Magic is a world of utmost precision. Hocus Pocus requires an admirable focus. And in the time of death determined by the doctor, there is an incontrovertible truth.
Well, prosecution warns us that we're dealing with rather precise times, and we can expect the cross-examination to require the same level of precision.
I would hope the defense refrains from its customarily broad, sweeping accusations, lest we blur the focus this case so clearly demands.
Point taken. Baseless remarks will result in a penalty. Carry on, Mr. Wright.
Carry on. Right. Who shot what?
Hold it!
11:20 p.m. Can you prove that's when you arrived? Alas, such a feat may be beyond even the great Valiant. Well, there is no one in that room but Magnifi, and he was departed, after a fashion. I have here defended Zach Gramarie's sworn deposition. I snuck into his room that night at the appointed time. It was 10 minutes before I left the room. The victim was still alive.
Time indicated by this letter to Zach was 11:05 p.m.
Exactly. Which means the witness could not have entered that room before 11:15. His partner was still in the middle of his crime.
I see someone did their arithmetic homework.
You see, the defendant himself has corroborated the witness's testimony. That all makes sense. I'll have to listen to that again. Don't see any problem with that testimony.
If you say so.
Sometimes the most magical thing of all is the truth. Okay, let's have a timeline. Let's make one. 11:05. Zach came in the room. He talked to Magnifi for a few minutes, then left. And I guess
Valent came into the room at 20.
Hold it!
You walk in on a murder and the first thing you do is shoot the clown. The disciple does what the disciple must. The mentor's request without reason had caused for me a surfeit of sorrow. But what would I, Valent, be now without him? May the soul of Magnify the Great find greater peace above. This I muttered to myself as I pulled that lonely trigger. In any case, I believe this is nothing more than what we have already learned. I'm still waiting for one of those right moments, our attorney.
Might I remind you that baseless remarks will earn penalties. Proceed with that in mind.
Yes, Your Honor. What a pain this is turning out to be.
Hold it!
Did the doctor say anything concerning the case, concerning the cause of death? Why, yes, I believe he screamed, "My God, he's been shot in the head."
It doesn't take a doctor to notice that. I believe I would have said much the same thing.
And I would have penned the requiem that arose in my soul at that horrid sight. Whatever happened to good old-fashioned investigation? In any case, I believe this is nothing more than what we have already learned. I'm still waiting for one of those. Okay, yeah, sure. Same thing.
Hold it!
11:10 p.m. I don't think I'm stepping out on a limb to say that I have some doubts about this. How could the doctor be so precise with the time?
We do usually only get an estimated time of death, true. I'm not sure I've heard of a verified time of death.
Magic reveals in making the complex appear simple, but reality is the opposite. What appears complex in this case is a simple matter of subtraction.
I see another person has done their arithmetic homework.
The point here is the IV the victim was taken. It's quite visible in the photograph of the scene. Oh. Recall what we heard earlier about the victim, Magnify Grammary's schedule. Every night at 11, Magnify took an IV drip for 30 minutes.
See the IV bag right there, yes.
Now look a little closer. Follow the tube down from the bag to the end.
Ah, the needle's been removed. Ah, yeah.
Doubtlessly, it fell out when he was shot.
Really?
How the fuck is it gonna fall out when it... That doesn't make sense.
That would seem to be the case.
It's taped on. I don't think getting shot in the head would cause the tape to suddenly lose its adhesive. When the needle comes out, the IV no longer drips. Ah, you could just measure the remaining IV liquid. Precisely. IV liquid functions, for our purpose, as an hourglass of sorts. This is how the doctor determined the time of death. From the amount remaining in the bag, it was determined that the IV had stopped 10 minutes after administration began. What if Zack was told by Magnify to remove the IV during their talk? And so it was, when I, Valent, entered that room. 10 minutes had passed since that horrible crime was committed. And this is proof.
Oh, Mr. Wright?
Did that seem important? It does seem important, but I'm gonna go back to that later.
You say so. Let's continue, shall we?
Yeah. This time I'll remember to get back to it for sure. You entered that hospital room at 11:20 p.m. The time given by the defendant, Zack Grammary, was 11:05 p.m. You didn't run into him at the hospital that night. This is why I never perform with amateurs, you see. Huh? Picture, if you will, the nighttime hospital. Outside, only the pale light of the moon. If two dressed as we were to meet in such circumstances, I dare say that would ruin the mood completely. The mood isn't in question here. I believe the witness is saying they did meet, yeah? But what is magic if not the study of beauty? Us meeting was not only out of the question, it was an impossibility.
What is magic if not the study of how to make absolutely no sense at all? That said, is there a contradiction in there? Not a problem. Don't see any problem with that testimony.
Say so.
An alibi over a matter of minutes. Precise is right. Messing with impunity will earn me a nice penalty, too. Better focus on one thing. It's time of death. Okay, I definitely think this IV hourglass is the most important here.
Hold it!
Let's look at the picture again.
Yeah, it's quite far from his arm.
It's clearly removed. Manually. Skip through this.
Why can't I skip? Game.
Yes. Well, seeing how it is the biggest clue we have to the time of death, I'd say it's very important.
Agreed. It would be hard to imagine a more precise way to determine the time. Behold the power of arithmetic. Very well. Witness will add this detail to his testimony.
Okay. Let's do this. The water of life springs not eternal. The remaining IV liquid proves my innocence. Did you notice the IV yourself by any chance?
When first I entered that room, the stench of gunpowder assailed me. Next, the mark of death upon my mentor's forehead. And then his left arm did I spy a rose, drooping and wilted. Its thorn, the discarded IV needle.
Knocked from the vein by the force of the shot. Lucky for you. If that IV had not been there, why? You might be a suspect.
Indubitably so. I might say it's thanks to my lucky color.
Your lucky color?
Indeed, even today I wear it proudly upon my suspect self.
He just called himself Sauce. Guys, I think yellow is sus.
For it always, without fail, brings me luck. Why, when Zack and Valent won their first Magician's Grand Prix? Yes, the very one held by the Association of the International Magicians.
Oh shit, is that the same one that... Who was that guy? Max Galactica? He did that one too, right?
I was adorned in this attire then too. And our trophy, a bust. Ah, what a day that was.
Ugh, this is one trip down memory lane no one needs.
My lucky color, yes indeed, and that IV too, I'd say. I think it was hued especially for me, Valent.
That does seem to be the case indeed. Oh, Mr. Wright, any thoughts on this testimony?
Valent sure looks happy with himself.
Okay, how about this lucky color testimony? Well, he's wearing yellow, but this is green, huh? Seems simple enough. It certainly sounds like your lucky colors brought you plenty of luck. Not this time. Mr. Valent, your lucky colors betrayed you.
I'm afraid you've lost me.
Your Honor? The witness's testimony just now clearly contradicts the evidence.
What? Please recall my warning at the beginning of this cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Baseless accusations will be duly penalized. I do hope this latest accusation is well-based.
Don't worry. I'm based. I've got all your bases right here. He's the most based attorney of them all. Phoenix Wright. Based attorney.
crime scene tells all, Your Honor. Photo of the crime scene. All the stock of color has me yearning for black and white, clear-cut simplicity. Tell us, Herr Wright, just where is the contradiction in this photo? My pleasure. And I assure you, it's quite simple. But I can't promise anything in black and white. Let's see what Mr. Wright has to say. What in this photo contradicts the witness's testimony? It is the IV bag full of green liquid. I have never seen an IV filled with a green liquid before, but, you know. Maybe he just needs, like, slime injected into him.
Take that!
Gatorade or something. Grammary? Let's get one thing straight about your lucky color. It's yellow, yes? Kind of takes the mister out of it, but yes. Something wrong with yellow, Mr. Wright? Yes, there is. Decisively wrong, in fact. Take another look at the photo of the crime scene. What's this? Confusion, doubt, tell us. What's your elderly eyes spy? Even my elderly eyes can see a problem here, Mr. Valent. That IV bag. Ah. What is this? What foul magic? It would be hard to call the IV liquid yellow. And I'm afraid no magic was involved in taking of this photograph. Holy shit, he really does have like a million doves. Rabbits. Hold on. What does this mean?
Objection!
You know, for a clearly evil guy, he sure does have a banging theme. This is some kind of mistake. Yes, Prosecutor Gavin, your witness's mistake. Greener they are, the harder they fall. I suppose there's no substitute for experience. Alan Grammar, as you reminded us several times, your lucky color is yellow, but the IV is clearly not. What? Well, this contradiction can only mean one thing.
Objection!
And to think, you almost had me. I see your true colors now, Ace Attorney Phoenix Wright. Something you'd like to tell us, Prosecutor Gavin? As far as this court can tell, the witness's testimony does contradict the evidence. Ah, yes, a contradiction. One that I shall be pleased to hand right back to Mr. Wright. How do you mean? If Guilty Love is playing right now, how does that make sense? Didn't they release the song in the future? Maybe. I don't know when Guilty Love came out. I'm pretty sure they were just like... No, this Clavier said that they just released their first hit single, right? So, I mean, I assume that means Guilty Love isn't out yet. BGM from the future, ooh. I agree at a glance. Ivy liquid does appear a sort of greenish yellow. But I assure you, the liquid itself is quite yellow. Yellow liquid? How can you say that? As far as I can tell from this photo, it's green. Yes, but what color is the IV bag itself? The bag? Oh, you mean the plastic bag and the hook? Oh, it's blue. It's like a... I want to say light blue? Precisely. Figured it out yet? Put a yellow liquid in a blue bag and... get green. This, incidentally, is the liquid's true color. I see. Your explanation does have a ring of truth to it. Good point. That doesn't... That just makes things even more confusing for you, Clavier. Because that would mean he saw a different IV bag. Or he changed it. As I thought, there's no substitute for experience, Prosecutor Gavin. What? You may tell a good tale, but just proven something rather grave. For you, that is. Yeah, grave? The liquid in the IV is yellow, yes. How did this witness know that? It's quite unnatural when you think about it. You did think about it, didn't you? Ah. Your Honor, the defense requests an explanation from the witness. The scene of the crime, the IV liquid appears to be green. So let me ask, how did the witness know the IV liquid was actually yellow? Oh, here it is. Alcazar! I'm jamming. We're all jamming. It's been so long, my old friend. Order, order, order! Mr. Wright, you will explain this at once. The witness clearly knew the color of the IV liquid, so I'm sure it means something, but what? I can think of only one possibility, Your Honor. The witness, Valiant Grammary, has testified that the IV liquid was yellow because it looked yellow, he'd seen it before, he knew the IV liquid's color. I'm not sure, honestly. Did he see it before, or did he know the color beforehand? I'm gonna go with this. From the facts before us, the answer is clear. The witness knew that the IV liquid was yellow. Why? Because he'd seen it before. But not inside the blue bag we see in the photo. He saw the liquid by itself in a clear, colorless bag. I suppose he would have had to, but I'm still not clear as to what this all means. Ask yourself, why would he know if he didn't work at a hospital? That's where you'll find your meaning, Your Honor. Okay, I think I got it. I'm afraid I know nothing. I find nothing. So what if he knew the IV liquid's color? Leave the getting excited over absolutely nothing to our teeny bopper fans, yeah? IV liquid is the only evidence proving the time of death. A 30-minute hourglass, 20 minutes worth of sand remaining. Claim Prosecutor Gavin. Remember it well. However, there's a critical difference between an hourglass and an IV bag. Wait, I know. An hourglass uses sand, but an IV bag uses liquid. I'm right? Yes? As much as it pains me to say this, Your Honor, but no. Yes, but actually no. Unlike the sands through an hourglass, IV liquid enters the patient's body, at which point, like magic, it disappears. However, what if the amount of IV liquid had increased? You couldn't tell, could you? After all, there's no way of knowing how much went in. Let me get this straight. Alright. You're saying the witness watered down the victim's IV bag? No, he just swapped it out. Not with water, but with IV liquid. That's how you knew the IV liquid was yellow. Oh, he poured in more. Ah. Now wait, I said wait! How might an amateur such as myself essay to perform such a task? I'm an amateur too. I can pour water into a cup. I'm afraid there's quite a big difference between a cup and an IV bag. Quite. Can you prove our witness is capable of such a feat? There's a point, amateurs. I at least would have some difficulty pouring IV liquid into that bag. You don't need to be an expert to see the look on the witness's face. Yeah, he's cornered all right. He added liquid to that IV bag to throw off the time of death. I'm tired of these fairy tales lacking evidence. Well, Mr. Wright, any solid evidence to bring us back down to earth? Grammary. I'm afraid your magic won't serve you well in a life of crime. Might I ask what you're strongly suggesting? Ugh. Magic relies on props, and props become evidence. Our witness was certainly able to increase the amount of IV liquid in the bag. All he has to do is work a little magic, and the prop was... it was this. Has been washed and shows no sign of use. Well, it says it has no sign of use, so... can't really think of anything else I can use. Let's just go with it. Don't think too much. Victim's syringe? It's the perfect prop for the magically increasing IV trick. And easy enough for an amateur to use. What kind of evidence is that? The syringe was clean. Not a trace of liquid in it. And don't you find that odd, Prosecutor Gavin? What? The victim had the syringe to administer his insulin shots. There should have been traces of insulin left inside. Well, Valiant Grammary, as you pointed out yourself, the IV liquid makes the perfect clock. One that you can manipulate at will. Alakazam! More birds. How many birds does this guy have in his pants? You believe, well, with this being his first, but the burden of this trial has been a bit too much to bear for Prosecutor Gavin. I'm afraid that, while there is a doubt as to the amount of IV liquid in that bag, the time of death cannot be proven. And that brings our trial to a close for today. Well, maybe I can squeeze an extra day out of this. Do a little much-needed investigation work. I see there are no objections. What now? Truly, there's no substitute for experience. Nothing blinds one to the truth so effectively. The words of the wise. Underestimate the young and they'll sweep your feet out from under you. In a way you never, ever expected. You see, I know exactly what you're thinking. Huh? What's he talking about? You say the witness used the syringe to manipulate the level of the IV liquid? There is no proof. There's no proof he didn't do it either. Yes, quite true. He's admitting it? Nor was this witness quite as decisive as I'd hoped. This I admit. After all, why linger in the past when the future holds so much? You have something in mind, Prosecutor Gavin? Proof, Herr Judge. I have another way to prove my case. With evidence, no less. Diary? Uh-oh. Is this where it happens? What's this? This is the victim, Magnifique Gramarye's diary. Diary? After going to the hospital, Magnifique began writing his memoirs, it seems. Story of his birth, his startling debut, and of meeting his disciples. It seems he intended for the last chapter to end, quite appropriately, with his death. Wait, that book doesn't say what the reason was, what does it? The reason why his disciples can refuse his last request. Sadly, it does not. What's important here is on the last page. Apparently, the victim wrote in his journal that night. Even after the IV had begun at 11 p.m. Let's read it, shall we? This does appear to have been written just before his death. Tonight's IV is in. It'll be the last. I leave the rest to them. First should come soon. Journal may end here, or it may go on, but not long. That depends on his hand. All that is left to mine is something, this pen. All that is left to mine is to lay down this pen. The court accepts this into evidence. I'll read that. Oh shit. What's up with the slowdown? This is the last page. The diary ends here. Huh? What's this? Looks like the page was ripped out. Oh no, isn't that interesting? do we have here? We have a definitely real page of a diary. This journal may end here or it may go on, but not long. That depends on his hand. Forced by his, he refers to our defendant, Zach Gramery.
That would make sense, yes. He was the first scheduled visitor, after all.
Look at what he said before that. This journal may end here or it may go on. It may go on. Magnifi Gramery intended to write again. That is, if Zach Gramery didn't pull the trigger. I see the defense understands the meaning of this. The victim's diary does not go on, it ends. Because Magnifi's life was brought to an end by the defendant, Zach Gramery.
Order, order, order! Prosecutor Gavin! You certain that Magnifi Gramery wrote this?
There's no mistaking this handwriting.
Well, this does seem to be significant. According to this, Magnifi did intend to continue this diary. And if his diary ended here, which plainly it did. Yeah, about that.
Then the one who pulled the trigger was the first visitor, Zach Gramery. Well, how do you like me now, Maharite? Still too green for your tastes, hmm?
He's right about the diary being pretty clear.
Still, I find it hard to believe. He'd overlook such an obvious problem with his precious evidence.
Well, Mr. Wright, the witness's testimony we heard was lacking. But put together with this evidence, it seems quite sufficient for a case.
If the diary is accepted like this, the trial's over. Maybe it's time for me to show them something.
Yeah, let's do it.
Forbidden technique. Forged evidence.
What? You have some evidence that overturns this diary?
It's not too late to rethink this and avoid more embarrassment.
Very well, please show us your evidence, Mr. Wright.
Incidentally, don't even think of showing us this diary we've just shown the court. Now that we've come this far, I hope you have something a little more decisive. Show us evidence that proves the victim continued writing his diary. Alright, I'd be happy to. The decisive evidence proving the diary didn't end with this page is... here. First, take a close look at this diary. Note that a page has clearly been ripped out.
What's this? I hadn't noticed that at all.
That's why we're still here talking about this. As it just so happens, I have here what I believe to be the missing page. I don't believe it! Looking at this page, it's hard to imagine that the first visitor that night shot Magnifi Gramery. That's the defense's position.
Wait, let me see that. What, Sam Hill? Why, this is the continuation of the victim's diary.
Ah, so that's what happened. Note the torn edge of the page. It's all a perfect match with the torn remains of the last page in Magnifi's diary. Quite remarkable. Would you care to explain what all this means, Herr Attorney? The diary continued after his first visitor came, which means that the victim was still alive after Zach Gramery left, leaving no one to take his life but the second visitor. Valet Gramery? No! No!
And our handwriting too matches that on the other pages. This is, without a doubt, a genuine article. Order, order, order.
But wait! That's impossible! That old man couldn't have written that.
Objection!
Finally, You just couldn't resist, could you? Right. Resist what? Presenting solid evidence? Your judge? Yes, Prosecutor Gavin? Might I request we put the current cross-examination on hold? Prosecution would like to call a new witness. But Prosecutor Gavin, this evidence overturns the current witnesses. I ask only to put it on hold. Please, my new witness has a very, very important piece of testimony to give. 5 minutes, no more. I promise, Your Honor. Well, if you put it that way. So, right, what's your take on this? Well, Your Honor, judging from his enthusiasm, we'll have to hear this new testimony sooner or later anyway. So it might as well be sooner. Then though this is highly, highly irregular, we will put the current cross-examination on hold. The witness may step down. Now, Prosecutor Gavin, please bring this surprise witness to the courtroom. Is it Drew Measham? I had a bad feeling just then. That ripped-out page was too obvious. I must have known. And I should have known it was a bad sign all around. Ah, there he is. I knew it. I fucking knew it. Holding trial with no audience is a first. Even for me, Prosecutor Gavin. No audience? I beg the court's understanding. But I had to make a judiciary deal with this witness to secure his testimony. A judiciary deal? Details of his testimony may have some legal ramifications, shall we say. Though, I thought it best to contain the information to this room. Very well. Then you are the witness, I gather. Yes, sir. State your name and occupation for the record. My name's Drew Measham. I'm a painter. Painter? You are somehow related to this case? No, well, not per se. I have one simple question for this witness. Mr. Measham, was it? Do you know what this is? Oh, well, yeah, I know it well. How's that possible? Have you seen this diary page somewhere before? Oh yeah, I mean, I made it. You what? You made it? Yes, you might call it one of my works. The prosecutor's office received a tip-off yesterday. Legal evidence has been prepared for the trial of Zach Gramery. Legal evidence? I initiated an investigation and found this witness. Painter to the world at large, Drew Measham has another side, you might say. He's skilled in making perfect reproductions of certain things. Forgeries, in other words. Forgeries? Well, so are we to understand that this page here is a fake, prepared by a certain defense attorney? Hold it! I didn't prepare this evidence. The attorney speaks. Something about this page, I presume. What is he saying? It makes no sense. After all, it was you who presented this evidence to us, Phoenix Wright. Witness? The Mr. Measham, was it? Who requested this forgery? Who is your client? That I don't know. You don't know? What? Most of my clients prefer to remain anonymous, even to me. I make the items they want and receive my payment. That's the extent of my contact with them. But there's no proof this is a fake. It's a fake. Huh? To avoid just this sort of problem, I always put a special mark on my works. I can say without a doubt, this is mine. Bit awkward. Is it right? You have just presented legal evidence to this court. My court. It was careless of me. That's all I can say.
Oh boy. Here.
No, Trucy. How could you have betrayed me like this? I trusted you.
What's this?
I don't know. I just got it over there in the hall. They told me to give it to the old boy in the blue suit with the spiky hair. They said it was really important.
Oh, she looks so proud.
It was all a trap. A fatal trap.
Mr. Wright,
Yes.
do you have an explanation for yourself?
If I did, would the court hear it?
Probably not. Forging evidence is a serious crime. Presenting it in court, a serious mistake. A fatal mistake for an attorney.
Fatal, too, perhaps, for your client, I fear. Tell me, what kind of a defendant relies on forged evidence? The answer is quite clear. Guilty one.
Objection!
Your Honor, wait! I understand that presenting forged evidence in court is a serious crime, but you cannot hold my client responsible for actions I undertook as an individual.
I'm sorry, Mr. Wright.
Your Honor? Another close call, I dare say. If the prosecutor's office hadn't received that hot tip, everything would have gone the way you wanted it to. Yeah?
This was a setup. Who was it?
Who wanted me out? I even gave you a chance. Too bad you decided not to think before embarrassing yourself.
I see no need for further discussion on this matter. Special witness dismissed.
Alright, see you, Drew. See you in hell.
Mr. Attorney,
Yes?
can I ask your name?
Phoenix Wright.
Mr. Wright. I've seen and studied many people, but none like you. I remember you. I'll remember you, Mr. Wright.
Well, shit. Looks like we're out. Ace attorney no longer.
Though I deeply regret having to declare a verdict in this way, this trial is over. You have the right to find a new attorney and make an appeal. However, this court must.
Ah, Your Honor.
Yes, Mr. Zack?
There's one thing I wish to make clear. Today, in this courtroom, you cannot declare me guilty. It is impossible.
I'm afraid the defendant is quite mistaken. We'll certainly have the authority to declare a verdict on you.
Except, tell me, how do you plan on announcing your verdict? When your defendant does not exist.
Doesn't exist? What are you talking about?
I'm talking about this.
What the?
He's gone. But Mr. Enigmar. Special move. Disappearance. It's a father-type attack. No one else can do these kinds of moves, but a father.
And I'll never return.
The defendant's escaped. Find him quick.
Bailiff, close all exits from the building. There he goes. On the double, he must not be allowed to escape.
What a fucking wild ride this is. That day in that courtroom, a miracle occurred. The defendant, Shadi Nigmar, aka Zach Ramery, did not just escape from court. He literally, unbelievably vanished right before the bailiff's eyes. No one ever saw him again. Not since that day.
This is the Grammary miracle. Ha 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 ha.
Wow, what a miracle. Abandoning your daughter and having your attorney stripped of his job. Great. No verdict was declared. After all, the defendant didn't exist. That's how it happened. Child magician Zach Ramery vanished, along with him for all eternity. The mysteries that remained behind were all solved, however. Not until 7 years later. To be continued.
Well, that was cool. Yeah, let's save. The trial 7 years ago was the beginning of it all. This I know beyond a doubt. Mysteries of the past work their magic on the present. You'll soon be finding all of this out for yourself. Which of Magnifique Gramarye's disciples pulled that trigger? Where did the vanishing defendant Zach Gramarye go? What dark truth lurks behind the forged diary page? And what about the girl who was left behind? Mason system. Hello? The past left us these 4 keys to unlocking the truth. What the fuck am I looking at? But that's not all. There are 4 keys in the present as well. And when all the questions have found their answers, the final trial will begin. First, you must chase the truth through then and now. Think of it as a game. Hi, Nick. Hi, Phoenix Wright will be your guide through this game. The terrible trial saw me present forged evidence. It ended half finished when the defendant vanished. Why am I suddenly in cyberspace with Phoenix? Am I still Apollo? What became of me after that? As your investigation proceeds, the answer will become clear. Oh, and one more thing. There's something I must tell you. As Apollo Justice has his bracelet, so too do I have my own weapon of sorts. You have your Magatama, right? Magatama? What does it do, you ask? That I would have you see for yourself. Well now, shall we begin? Touch the arrow to switch between past and present. Let's begin 7 years ago. In the past. It is right after my last trial came to an abrupt end. Now that you know the game, let's play. Holy shit. Mason system. What is this? You know what? Let's continue this next stream. Like, this is as good a time to end as any. Yeah. This is cool. I did not expect this. At all. Why am I in cyberspace? I was like, in the intro scene, I was like wondering, why were there like 2 planets made out of binary? That's why. Past and present. Okay, well, we will engage with the Mason system in the next stream, tomorrow night, same time. As per usual. To figure out the mysteries, past and present. But until then, I wish you all a good night. Thank you for watching. And take care of yourselves. This transition is really fun to do. Okay, anyway. See you guys soon. I'll be waiting.